What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, and if you guys are new here, be sure to subscribe. That helps my channel grow, or you can leave a like or a comment. That also helps my videos in the algorithm as a smaller channel tremendously. We have the AK-12 to talk about today. This thing got buffed yesterday alongside a few other assault rifles, so we're going to talk about the changes real quick, do a quick comparison, and then I have some builds for you guys. If you only care about the builds, of course, I always put timestamps in videos like this so you guys don't have to listen to parts you don't want to, but I make my videos very informative, so if you want to learn something new about the gun or maybe see something that you're unsure about, be sure to watch the whole thing. Builds are going to be in the description as always. Let's just get into it, guys. Thanks for watching and enjoy. Here are the AK-12 changes. For both modes, Warfare and Operations, it received improved firing stability. Operations specifically, base damage went from 27 to 29, and Warfare specifically, the base damage went 21 to 24. So we're seeing a +3 base damage for Warfare and a +2 base damage for Operations. So what makes the AK-12 so good after those buffs? Let's take a look and compare it to some other assault rifles, and I'm going to show you guys the one thing about the AK-12 that's insane. We're going to be looking at base damage compared to fire rate. So AK-12 is 24 damage at 735. Let's compare that to the previous best assault rifle to this recent patch, CI-19, 25 damage at 706 RPM. The thing about the CI-19 is the best attachment on it, the gas block, that drops the rate of fire to 660. So truthfully, the CI-19 was 25 damage at 660 RPM. Another notable rifle to compare it to, the AKR-15 does 25 damage at 632 RPM. So it does one more damage than the AK-12, but essentially 100 less RPM. So look at that, 632 compared to 735, and again, only one less damage. There's a lot of other guns, 25 damage on the SCAR, 585, 25 damage on the M7, 649. Of course, there's different values for range and everything, and the truth behind this, when you go and look at this damage tab, 24 damage everywhere at a minimum. Okay, so how you look at this is, assuming we're within the range at 1 up to 30 meters, we will do 24 damage to the thorax and 24 damage to the forearm and the shoulder and the lower torso and the thigh and the lower leg. So you don't need to be accurate with the AK-12. Of course you need to hit your shots, but it doesn't matter where you hit them, you're gonna do the same damage. And so a lot of guns in Delta Force are actually like that. All you need to do is just check the rifle and go to details. Let's check the AKR-15 out, 25 damn thorax, everywhere else 22. So the AKR-15 is a gun where you need to aim for the chest, because if you're not hitting the chest, you're getting a big damage nerf. Another gun, the G3 for example, this one's universal, so 26 damage everywhere, which is insane. Another gun, the SCAR, 25 everywhere except the lower leg. So whenever you're using a gun, you want to go into the details and look at this damage and understand where you need to be aiming. If I chose the M7 for example, just like this, boom, I can see, okay, I can hit anywhere and get 25 damage, of course within the damage range. You need to understand your gun before you go and use it. Go ahead and familiarize yourself with that. Now let's talk about the attachments for the AK-12. All right guys, so here we are with the AK-12. Both builds that I have for you guys are pretty similar. The only thing that's gonna change is the foregrip and the optic. So build number 1 is gonna have the Cobra and the folding grip, and build number 2 is gonna have the panoramic and the K1 for a little bit more horizontal control. They both have 35 meters of range, but as you can see, as I bounce back between the two builds, these values are going to change. So the grip, build number 1 is going to have better handling and stability, but build number 2 is going to have better control. Okay, so as we switch between those two, you can see those values change. Again, this is going to be build number 1, build number 2, and then right here, this is going to be build number 3, and I call it Blueprint. And why it's called Blueprint is because it's missing the attachments that you guys can put on due to personal preference. So if there's an attachment already in the slot, I'd leave it there, and I'd recommend leaving it there. But for example, I personally went through and tested all the viable grips in the game, and I couldn't find my favorite one for this build. Everything felt really good. So I want you guys to go through and try to find your favorite feeling grip, and let me know in the comments which grip you think feels best on this build. And then optics as well. If you guys want to run the Fusion Hollow, if you guys want to run the Hammer, if you guys want to run the mini red dot, go for it. Optic is all personal preference, although with this build here, I wouldn't recommend running anything above a 1x really, so I would try to keep it between these ones here, but of course it's personal preference. Use what you want. You guys could even switch out these patches here. I have them all for handling. If you don't care about handling, you may want to do a mix of stability and control, or maybe do all control, or whatever you want. but you could also switch out the handguards. Everything else I would leave. And you guys may be like, what the hell is this? Because I don't think I've ever seen a build with anyone running the Bell flash hider. I already made a video covering why I use flash hiders in Delta Force. I'll put it on top of the screen right now. If you guys are unaware, flash hiders basically do as their name implies. They hide visual effects and muzzle flash. This game has a lot of visual effects when you shoot. For example, I'll show you guys a clip of the titanium contest, the AK-12 spraying with that right now. As you guys can see, it's just crazy visual effects on the screen and fire getting in the way of the optic in your reticle, so it's easy to lose track of the enemy. Same goes for the Bastion, and this is probably the most popular muzzle in the game, and the Bastion uses a lot of visual effects as well. And then here's a clip of me spraying with the Bell mouth flash hider, and there's essentially none, and it still does a lot of control. Like when we compare the Bastion to the Bell, the control is still pretty good, okay? So the Bell still does a really good job of controlling the spray and also hiding the flash, and it adds stability. Brings our stability down quite a bit. So the Bell mouth is a very underrated flash hider. So anyways, guys, that's gonna be my updated AK-12 information, builds, comparison, and really everything related to the gun. How do you guys feel about the AK-12? Let me know in the comments. And if there's any guns you want me to do an updated build on, let me know in the comments as well, okay? Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.